Welcome to Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, we'll be looking at numbers of issues, starting from carbon on security, Nigerian Defense Academy to upgrade curriculum to international standard.
And a migration, U.S. Embassy interviews 150,000 Nigerians for visas in 2023.
And these are the stories we will be looking at today. And joining us in the studio after this break is editor of the Urobo Voice newspaper. We'll introduce him to you after the short break. Do stay with us.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time. Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network. We wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
Welcome back. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and joining us in the studio right now is editor of the Urobo Voice newspaper. Thank you so much, Mr. Goodluck Edafe, for joining us in the studio today.
Always my pleasure.
And how are you doing?
I'm very well.
Maintain cutting down demands and supply as the only remedy to prevent drugs abuse in communities, the reports.
Because if we don't take out those who bring those drugs, we can never make it on the demand side. We're trying for drug abuse prevention and treatment, but we need to take out the availability, the supply side, so that they don't really go back to those areas. We have children abusing various substances, and it breaks my heart, to see that kind of thing. So please, problems that we have an underpinning drug and substance abuse.
And that was from Dr. Hadiza. We have heard it, how much the NDLA have put into fight drug abuse in Nigeria and the world as a whole. And, earlier this year, that was around January, the NDLA actually frozen the accounts of about 126 bank of drugs, one so forth. And again, last month we heard where the House of Rep came in advising them, urging them that they should try everything they can to make sure that that it seems completely mitigate this in our nation.
Well, it's an effort in the right direction. But as I've always said on this platform, we have many laws in this country. But what is missing and why these things are not effective is because we have a defective implementation method. Our implementation systems are bad. We don't have good mechanism to enforce laws. Like you noted, one door closes, another one opens. When you talk about drug, maybe you talk about the barons, the big guys. They are buried into it, And again, corruption is also part of it. You look as if you don't take it, you are losing something. He can make laws, but who implemented the laws? This one the deputy governor is talking in Kaduna. We cannot fold our hands. Fine. After, when you declare zero tolerance, how do you enforce it? That zero tolerance is the issue. Who will not go? Because when you say zero tolerance, meaning that in every community in Kaduna State, you will not see anybody. You will not see anybody smoking marijuana, for example. And when they just come up with this kind of law,
have not put measures in place. It means for them to, for the deputy governor to come up to say this, they must have put measures in place. Don't you think so?
This is not the first time. Zero tolerance in Nigeria. This is not the first time. We are hearing zero tolerance. Okay. When you say zero tolerance, is it not in all areas of drug, or are you talking about one particular drug?
Not just one particular. We're talking about drugs in general.
Holistic, total. So when we talk about zero is power to ensure that crime ceases in society. That's what we're talking about here. And for you to do that, you must come out of your shell. Our people in government are buried in their cocoon. They are not interested in pursuing a crime to a standstill. They are not interested in that. They just come up, they want to make all this kind of comment. They just expect the police, anybody you see with a one piece of one stick of igbo, you hold the person. It's hard to fight a drug and get a zero tolerance in society.
Okay, so moving away from the implementation, the use of hard drugs is now something that it's very often in a normal, typical Nigerian society. And we all know that these substances are very, very bad to our health. Now, do you think the standard of living in Nigeria is a contributing factor? Because people are just probably looking for ways to ease their stress. What do you think that the standard of living in Nigeria is contributing to the fact that some youths are just looking for...
They can give that interpretation. Okay. But what I've always said is that the major problem we have in Nigeria is problem of values. Our values are bad. If you want to ease off, sing praises to God. Can help you physically and spiritually. And you are already dying, you take Igbo, you are adding insult to injury. So it's not the best approach to easing off of stress.
Achieve this. But do you think only with the village leaders it will be possible without bringing in the community, the least communities, and it seems it was just for a month, and after nothing happened. And they are talking about working with leaders now to mitigate these drugs. Do you think it will be possible without bringing in the boys?
When you put something in the hand of a thief to keep, you are just showing that by bringing the community people. The community people are not the ones doing the buckling. I have told you that government does not have the will. Why don't they have the will is because government is always looking forward. And when you say looking forward, it's not how this state will look like to stand still, either in this country as a whole or in a particular state, because of political interest.
Okay, moving on to Kano State. The Kano State Police Command has verified apprehension of Tasiu Alamin Robber, is Senior Special Assistant to the Cabinet Office, and Abdul Kadir Mohammed for purportedly diverting the state's palliatives. Commissioner of Police Kusani Gumel stated that the suspects were caught at a Sharada warehouse with more than 200 empty bags, allegedly involved in repackaging rice and maize. We have seen do beyond the privilege to the good effort of the governor. He is trying his best to help the downtrodden, but some people within the system are sabotaging his efforts, he said. You will recall that after the unveiling of the distribution of food items meant for the underprivileged as palliatives to cushion the impact of fuel subsidy removal, the state government later set aside another large portion of the palliatives, especially to be distributed to the people with special needs in the society. It is quite disheartening to know that one man would sit somewhere in his house and think that, okay, you know what, I know what, I just have to benefit from this. The issue of palliatives and people in charge, what do you think, what are the measures that the government should put in place to make sure that if we are actually giving out food to so and so community, they actually get the food, or they get the whatever you're giving to them, not handing it over to one man and then their fate is, tied to his decisions.
That is Nigeria. Anything can happen in Nigeria. When you say you give a palliative to one man to go and distribute in a community, and the way you coin it, that food for a whole community, one man diverting it. Are you with me? The resources of a state, the billions that comes in a month, does not belong to the people. It belongs to the people.
So are you saying he's actually taking his share of the national...
That is the mindset of people in government. The people he is working with, he sees what they are doing and they do not see what they are doing.
But this is alleged extortion. We can possibly say, in quotes, if really they actually went for that, because with what we have in the story here, that the government later set aside another large portion of palliatives specifically to distribute to the people with special need. And then they actually mention, people of the police, people in police barracks and all of those. And he didn't go alone. Remember, they met them with different bags to the people that need that this belongs to. Will you say that is actually taken? Because I believe one man with his right senses wouldn't want to carry food that is meant for community, packing all of them with the report that we have. You don't you think he was trying to distribute this other large portion?
Well, whether he has good intention or he does not have good intention, I have said anything can happen in Nigeria. In Nigeria, there are blackmailers. Even when you are doing what is right, they will blackmail you. And there are Nigerians who will say this one is an opportunity. Because I've been following you people and I've been seeing how you people are taking billions. Nothing happened to you people. Why should you kill me? You understand? So what we are saying here, the young man, like I think you mentioned whether repackage some, whether you have it.
So, these palliatives are sometimes customized.
You
So
have it. You repackage so that what you are taking to the community, if it were to be a bag of 100 in full bag, by the time you repackage, then you have half, which is 100 for yourself. You take the other half to them and all. How many baskets we get to each family?
But let me ask, Mr. Duffy, have you heard of any community so far that has gotten palliatives complete?
You are looking for my trouble. Where you say, have I seen any? Are we not here in River State? I live in very close to you here. I've not seen anywhere around me here. It's okay, because the palliative is all over Nigeria. Is it only in Kaduna State or in which state? Kano. Okay, sorry, Kano State. Is it only in Kano State we talk about palliative? The one they sent to River State, have you heard of it? Are you not living in Port Harcourt? Which part of you are living in Port Harcourt? Has there been any, okay, you people should come, we have palliative to give to the people here. Have you seen it?
But again, these palliatives are kept in a warehouse. So there's every tendency, before these palliatives get to the people that need to have it, it means that you need to take them out of warehouse first, right?
See, I don't even believe in this concept of taking care of citizens, because this is for a government that want to build society. This is not even the kind of person, kind of arrangement you put in place.
Now, you don't believe in this kind of
arrangement.
You don't believe in this arrangement.
I don't believe in it.
But the truth is, this has been done already. You don't expect the government to take back the palliatives.
It is faulty.
They have already gotten it.
Because the process is faulty. That is why it's not getting to the people.
So what measures should be put in place? Because obviously the governor had good intentions. He had the cry of the people at heart. So what measure should be put in place to make sure that the good intentions of those in governance actually gets to the downtrodden?
Now, the idea is that it is to cushion the effects, like what you see there now, the effect of fuel subsidy. Not so, to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy. Now, how many bags of rice and beans will you give to me In the last 1 week, I spent over 20,000 naira for fuel. If you take 5,000 naira fuel from Uniport, drive to Marine Base, before you come back, that 5,000 is gone. So how many bags of rice would you give to me now to cushion the effects of what fuel subsidy has imputed on me?
What do you think the government will do for the people to say indeed the government has done something?
We have said it many times. The idea, the manner with which the government treated the issue of subsidy was wrong ab initio. And that is the greatest crisis we are facing. Otherwise, if you have a government that really cares for people, today now you see them living in luxury, still buying exotic cars, buying things, and they don't feel it because they have free government money to spend. And you are giving me a basket of beans for the fuel you brought on me. So what we are saying here is that if government was actually serious, you can say, well, between now and December, fuel subsidy will go December. And between now and December, we have 3 standard refineries in this country. Nigeria produce crude oil. You send crude oil abroad, very cheap. You bring it back to come and sell to us at a very expensive rate. It's madness. So what we are saying here is that this issue of palliative is that the government is not cared. It's not serious. It's not ready for anything. You want to take care of citizens. So these are just child's play they are doing.
All right, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. When we return, we'll look at the rest of our stories. Don't go nowhere.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Ceremony of its 75 Kada regular course in Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria. The Defense Academy welcomed new Kada after their 7 week of intensive and rigorous orientation course that qualified them.
Adhere strictly to basic rules and regulations guiding your training in the Nigerian Defense Academy, and physically fit gentlemen for service to our dear nation. Continue to improve and upgrade our training curriculum to meet up with international best practices and the demands of our contemporary security environment. The Defense Academy of today has therefore transformed into an effective military institution of international standard. It is continuously being equipped with all it takes to meet global standard in consonant with the requirements of our constitutional rules. We assure you that the Academy has all the necessary facilities and resources to impart the best academic training to equip these young men with the knowledge and skills required to excel in their various fields.
territorial integrity of Nigeria, like other nations of the world, is continually threatened by violent non-state actors, created security threats across our territory. Regardless of the diversity of security challenges being faced by our country, I have no doubt that the NDA is poised to improve the military training and academic education of the cadets to mitigate future warfare challenges. The dynamics and nature of 21st century warfare demand an elevated level of intellectual capability and creative critical thinking by military leaders. Also, the nature of war and war theaters keep shifting and changing, thus necessitating innovative minds capable of confronting, accommodating, and mitigating the multifarious security challenges.
The academic curriculum to international standard. And according to them, that this will help, of course, to really fight the insecurity that is going on in our nation. But do you think this is a yardstick to be able to tackle the insecurity that is going on here, increasing it to academic standard? Because, I mean, we have seen a situation where the beginning of this administration, the first thing that our president did was to travel out there calling on the internet to happen. And do you think increasing their academic curriculum would do anything positive at this point?
Straight away, I will tell you no.
And why do you say that?
You have hinted that from the beginning our president said so. Nigerian military that we know, Nigerian military that we know, we are struggling with Boko Haram. Boko Haram went to the Kaduna. No, is it not the of course with the government? It's just a matter of time. You are asking us to bear. Do you bear? Is it only me that will die for your policy? And you are enjoying. Look at the billions. Look at this travel they went to Dubai. Just recently we see one country president, is it Zambia or one country, coming to address his nation that because of what they are facing is cutting down the cost of governance by 50%. No overseas travel, beginning from himself. Is that not human being? Why is there the difference in Nigeria? You want people to bear, you them. Yes, sir. Because if you there, you put whatever you have, you gather to yourself. So the young man said, well, this is an opportunity for me to also gather. That is the lifestyle in Nigeria.
Well, we have not heard from him. This is what the people say, that they saw him alleged.
Yes, we agree. Whether alleged or not alleged, they said he divided the bag, divide war bag into two. Divided the bag, divide war bag into two. He put one bag into two.
I mean, maybe something the government can do for the people to begin to talk to themselves, because we have gotten to a regime where one can kill without even feeling remorse about it. You don't even see it as human. And that was why I asked, do you think this is a duty of the federal government? Because I don't know what is going on in your mind. You do not know what is going on in my mind. I mean, it is me, my God, and mirror. So what do you think the government can do for Nigerians to sit down and say, no, I'm not going to do this again, irrespective of what has happened? Because it's not an excuse. If I say you do bad, and that doesn't mean I should do bad. So when we blame the federal government for our mistake, it's not an excuse.
When we talk about repentance, it starts from the top. We are not going to say only my father-in-law. This one is my brother-in-law. This one is from my village. The moment we are able to kill that kind of orientation, then fear will begin to grip the people. Otherwise, a society where a kidnapper will kidnap somebody once, you pay ransom to him. We kidnap again, you pay ransom to him. In a society, we have government. We have police, we have the army, we have the navy. You have all kinds of security architecture. One local boy will kidnap somebody, take him to the bush, you pay ransom. He will repeat it again, you pay ransom. He will repeat it again, you pay ransom. Then you are a body society to do more.
Oh, okay. This is from the migration report. The U.S. Embassy in Nigeria has commended the country's endeavors to strengthen its economy for sustainable growth. David Green, the charge of affairs of the U.S. Embassy in Abuja, highlighted that over 150,000 Nigerians on the way. So those appointments are available, and we are doing everything we can to address the gap. what folks do not know is that this year we have interviewed more than 150,000 Nigerians. This is in addition to 30,000 students. Hundreds of thousands of students have had the opportunity to seek visas from the US. We are doing the best we can to the US. Folks who are seeking visas should apply early and make sure that the plan is for an event as they can. He said this is because we do not acknowledge that there is a backlog, and we will do what we can to make sure that people who need a warrant visa to the US can get them. We cannot not see the story of Nigerians trying to flee, if I may use the word, trying to flee, from the country. And like you said, 150,000 Nigerians have applied, and from what I know, the visa application fees is really expensive, and Nigerians, we are crying, we're saying we don't have money, but when it comes to the dream of Japa, money comes from nowhere, and then we can afford visas. What do you think? Do you think that this Japa syndrome is the only way out? Because people are actually spending, some people are selling off their land, some people are, selling off everything they have just to make sure that they live. And when it comes to the US, it is very difficult. You can spend a lot of money, for your process and visa application. At the end of the day, you'll be bounced back. So what do you think we can do about this situation?
Well, when you say when it comes to fee for visa, people cry they don't have money. When it comes to fee for visa, they bring an investment. Somebody is investing in his future. He has lost hope in Nigeria. My future does not lie in Nigeria. So he's struggling. Whether you sell house to make that investment come true is his own aspiration. That's the way it is. For me, the number is even small. 150,000 just for a whole 12 months in Nigeria. The way people complain. I talked to some students at Unipol there, and I try to encourage them. The America you want to run to, the UK you want to run to, people build that society. Let us think of how we can build our own society. Say that way they talk now your own. Make I reach there first. You understand? The impression they have is that they don't believe that government is ready to build society. That's just the impression they have. So staying here is wasting their time. One of my in-laws just traveled to UK recently, and he got employment. That where the place he's working right now, they paid him £3,000 just in my village.
Do you see the government getting back people's trust in the next 2 years?
A government that can get the trust of his people is a government that's doing what he is telling the people to do or not to do. That's a government that